It's your boy D Weathers, Fly Eyes Video, here on WCDB, Past Life Radio with my guy Mr. Everyday, you heard? Rockin'.
So what you trying to do, and who you really want to be? Everybody wants a shot to be the top in this industry. So what you trying to do, and who you really want to be? Everybody wants a shot to be the top in this industry. I follow me, never walk in another man's shoes. Fake we good when you know we ain't brothers. I set my goals.
D Weathers, man, I appreciate you coming up here, man, traveling all the way from Poughkeepsie.
You know that.
You know what I mean? That's how I know you grinding, my brother. What was the early beginnings like of D Weathers? Like, let's start back to the young toddler age coming up. What was it like coming up for you? Where you from originally?
I'm from Poughkeepsie, New York.
Okay.
And I'm saying, growing up was it was interesting. For the majority of my life, I lived in projects. So in Poughkeepsie, the Bricks, Tubman, Corley, so on and so forth. But I did do a little stretch up here in Schenectady. I used to live in Schenectady. I used to stay in Yates.
Oh, so that's how you know the area.
Yeah. I know a little something.
Yeah, I know
something.
Yates.
So most of it was just all project stuff.
Okay.
I was a project baby.
Now, what was your formal schooling like? What was school like for you?
School was third grade is when I started bouncing OD. That's when I started going to all different types of schools. Fifth grade, I got expelled in Schenectady actually, bouncing back and forth. And then between middle school around 6th and 7th, I was in Poughkeepsie. 8th, I was in Oneida and Schenectady. And 9th, I was at Schenectady High. But then I ended up going back to Poughkeepsie, and I just finished that one.
He was like, I'm off this.
Yeah. Schenectady was cool. I learned a lot in Schenectady. I learned a lot in Schenectady.
Okay.
Word.
Yeah, you know, the crazy thing about Schenectady is like a little, like, a microcosm of like, dudes that be migrating from down bottom city, you know what I mean, from the town, be coming up to Schenectady and finding themselves, and so it'd be like, it's like a little baby jungle out there. So
it is. All my friends from Schenectady was damn near from Brooklyn.
Right, like when I first opened up my studio, a majority of my artists was coming from Schenectady. So I was just like, damn, where is all the rappers in the 518 out of Schenectady? And then I started seeing the connection for Schenectady to Brooklyn, to the city, and I was just like, okay, I see what's going on. And they coming up here, hibernating and coming out, beasting out of Schenectady, man.
Yeah.
So I understand that, bro. So what was it that, like, so school wasn't going to be the route for you?
No.
You know what I'm saying? So the streets kind of was always smiling and waiting and ready for somebody.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And what happened was I initially wanted to go to school. Coming out of high school, I wanted to go to college to play football.
Okay.
But I really wanted to go to be a personal trainer because I wanted to get into coaching.
Okay.
I wanted to be a football coach initially. I ended up getting suspended my senior year.
Not to cut you off, but what position?
I was an athlete. I was everything.
Athlete.
Give me the ball.
Right, heard it.
But I got suspended my senior year for quote unquote pushing the security guard. The school I wanted to go to ended up not accepting me. That was tough.
Yeah.
And then we just we went left.
Yeah. That's what happens.
We went
That's
left.
usually what happens, bro. But it's good to see that you're doing your thing right now, and keeping the streets, the bad side of the situation, because it could be real ugly. Like you could not be here. There's a lot of people that's not here behind that going left. You know what I mean? So it's like looking at me like you turning it right. You went left and then you banked right.
And it wasn't even just me. Like I got people that love me. I got OGs. I got real people that care about me, so they keep me away from it. Now they like, you the one that could change everybody that you love's lives. So we gonna keep you out of whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But the ties is always there. But they make sure that I stay.
That's the thing.
Hands clean.
I respect it, because a lot of the things that we see now in today's business is that people not understanding, like, when a person's in that position, you have to do your job to protect that person, because that's the breadwinner, or even the future breadwinner. So it's like, and they don't be understanding that, and they be getting a man jammed up, and so it's important for you to say that people understand it.
Yeah, no, and it's crazy because there's kids that I went to school with that one of them, he could have been in the league. I remember being at basketball games, right? I remember one year I was doing camera work for them, because I wanted to go travel with the team. And I remember UConn coming up to come see him play at practice, but they couldn't talk to him because he wasn't old enough yet. And he was going crazy in practice, and they just said, listen, as long as he get his good grades, he got a D1 scholarship. You know what I'm saying? And I remember him, Summer League, it was an AAU tournament, and him and Kemba Walker was going back to back. They dropped like 50. They was going against each other. They both had like 50 that game. It was going nuts. But nobody told him stay away. And that ended up changing that whole trajectory of that whole thing. And that was something that I always paid attention to. So even when I got into this situation, into rapping, you know, that after people started seeing like, oh, he's serious, oh, he's good, oh, he could do it, hold on now.
Right.
You get out the way.
That's important. I mean, it's key to learn from others' failures and to pay attention so we're not repeating those same mistakes.
Wise man learns from others' mistakes.
Yes. And I appreciate you saying that. So let's gravitate. So, you know, the sports thing doesn't take for you. At what point in time did you start rapping? Like, when did you very first start putting pen to pad or writing down, like however your process is? When did the first time come that you're like, yo, I'm gonna lay some bars?
The first time I started rapping, the first time I recorded a song was in Schenectady. Okay. That was my first time recording a song. But I was rapping younger. I just, you know, didn't know what you was doing. Right. But it wasn't until after the whole thing that college didn't fall through that my surrounding friends was like, yo, bro, you gotta rap again. Like, just rap. Just go for it. And I'm like, I really don't want to, but all right, whatever. Let's try it. So I did it, and like I said, they were just like, yeah, you got to keep doing it. Don't stop.
Now, is there anyone specifically in Poughkeepsie that inspired you to rap? Or was it you just watching the rap game at that time?
My grandmother gave me Juvenile's 400 Degrees album. Okay. So Cash Money was the initial reason.
Was on fire.
Yeah, there was the initial reason why I started rapping.
Especially that album too.
Yeah,
that album was insane.
And then right after that, that's when Lil Wayne came.
Yeah, that whole wave.
Yeah, but it transitioned from the Cash Money to Rough Riders. As soon as
yes, absolutely. And then that's right down the block for us. So you know what I mean. So that's right to home. So now we gravitating back to our thing. That's a fact. So, how would you say, like, as far as your style, what would you consider your style in the game? If you had, and not even like some people could say like, well, my style's original, there's nothing like me. But if you had to compare yourself to anybody currently in the game, who would you say was closer to your style?
Okay, I would like, I get a lot of my writing, like the way I write from Rick Ross, but a lot of my style I would compare to like closest to like a Stack Bundles. Like, it's real. It's gritty, but it's pretty.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good because one thing like the crossover hardcore is a real thing. Yeah, like if you're able to get that niche, you're winning. Right. Because no matter it could be like the most pristine, like schoolgirl or whatever, but she'll always gravitate towards that grittiness. But then you still gotta have a certain like warmth that still kind of keeps it. Like Pac had that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where you could really be hardcore and rough, but then lovable and like the girls are still, you know what I mean?
Have the balance.
Yes, it's the balance. It's the balance. It's absolutely the balance. So what would you consider like your creative process? Like, do you listen to beats to get your inspiration, or do you have a lot of written rhymes and then you find the tracks for those?
It's a mixture of both. Most of the time, I've been working with my son Half, my producer, cameraman. I've been working with him this whole stretch, and so he pushes me, he sends me beats, he said, yo, try this, whatever, boom. We got our own sound, so the process is pretty much, I get the beat, I hear the beat, I either come up immediately with an idea, like, okay, we're gonna do this, or I take my time. Like, I got songs that I haven't even finished writing that I've been writing for years. But for the most part, a lot of, I got so much content, a lot of this stuff just comes, it's like a puzzle. Because I could write a bunch of stuff, I'll go to another beat, write something else, come back to this, go back. This could be a hook. This could be like I've
learned that too.
It's up and down.
I've learned that too. Like even just over time. Like sometimes when you stuck on one record, it's better to just move on. Yeah. And just create something else. And not because I've been in stages where I was trying to write a record, and I just had to step away from it and get to it. You know what I mean?
I don't when it comes to writing, I don't force myself. If it comes to me, I write it. If it don't, I walk away.
What do you feel is the greatest challenges that you have trying to be an artist in the game right now?
Trusting people's word. People have titles and they say they can do certain things, and you believe in them because of what they say, and then they end up not being who they say they are. Being an unsigned artist, like all those that are, they know like it's it's a jungle. Like, they will feed on you. Like, oh, here's a showcase, pay this or this. Here's this. Like, it's always somebody trying to take money from you somehow, some way.
There was a time period where there was a lot of value in just pulling up to certain things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even when I was coming up, it was like, because everything was still new and forming, like just being at somewhere, yeah, it was worth paying that person to be in that environment.
Right.
But nowadays, the game is so oversaturated, the value of being certain places is really not the same. So you really have to navigate.
Yeah.
You got to maneuver a certain way so that you can make sure that you're getting the max value for your time and your money and your efforts.
Yeah.
Because you could, even as a team, when you have a team, especially because you have people that believe in you, you don't want to be having them following you to places that don't manifest, because then after a while, they start looking like, is this thing really happening?
Right.
So as a leader, which you are, it's important for you to understand, like, nah, this ain't the move right now, or this ain't the move. And then having other people affiliated with your team, also knowing what to bring you. With the climate of artists that have been killed and are being wiped out, because it seems like every time you turn around, you look in the blogs and you're seeing another rapper killed, another rapper killed, another rapper killed. Does that affect the type of songs that you create? Or does it affect your process of creation? Do you have that in the back of your mind?
I mean, I always write with a little bit of caution, because I understand how powerful the word is.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I never made no songs about, like, dying. I never show no imagery of dying. None of those types of stuff. I won't even shoot a video, like, in a church because of that feel. So I try to stay away from those type of things. As far as the creating process of the music, I write where I come from. I write my environment. I write what I've been through. I write what I see. That's why a lot of the times when you hear my stuff, I say things that you had to have been through to know, like, oh, he didn't just hear somebody else say this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just feels authentic.
Real rap. They used to just call that real rap.
Yeah, real rap.
You know what I mean? Like,
so yeah, but with that, there's definitely a lot of precautions we take moving around.
Yes.
If that because of rap. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I appreciate you really saying that, especially talking about the imagery and talking about death, because, like I was telling you, speaking to existence, it works both ways.
Absolutely.
If you speak that dark cloud into existence, that dark cloud will follow you. It will find you.
And,
so,
and being a rapper is dangerous.
Yeah.
It is dangerous. So one thing I can say for anybody that don't, get life insurance, because nobody's invincible.
Because it's dangerous it's in part. It's like, it's dangerous because if you are projecting a hardcore image, best believe people want to touch the gangster.
Yeah, somebody want to see
touch the gangster. But I think if you're moving a certain type of way, even then it can still be just as any entertainer would be. Absolutely. Because people, the jealousy and the animosity. But
Absolutely.
You'll find that people that are able to kind of avoid that are the ones that kind of have like a more universal spiritual approach to the music. Like, you never hear about Kendrick Lamar having issues.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's more about for the people.
Right.
That's like with Pac. Even like a lot of stuff that Pac had, rest in peace. You know, some of it he brought to himself because of what we were just speaking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then on the flip side, there was places where he had to worry about nothing because he was the voice of the people. Right. And I think if he stayed more in that lane and didn't go, into the other lane so much, we probably would have had a different outcome. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So, but it's very important what you're saying, and if you're listening right now, you understand, like, you can really prophesize your own destiny through your words.
You can.
So that's a
lot of in this once again, because there's a balance of it being entertainment.
Yes.
Because you wanna make them joints that people, that's hard. You know what I'm saying? But you do want to tread a little light. Like I said, I don't really pen a lot of the. I'm not dying in none of my raps. Let's put it like that.
Now you have a good balance with that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the streets, but at the same time, it's not the negativity. I don't feel negative. I don't feel that dark cloud when I'm listening to it. Like some people you listen to, like, oh yeah, no, we got about a year of him. We got a year of him.
I like making the music for the women first and foremost. But it's just
that's a good lane.
My people want me to rap for the streets.
You gotta give the streets what they need, but you gotta also understand, like, who's really supporting. Like, I'll tell you this first and foremost. Ja Rule, one thing about Ja, his first stuff was more street based. Yeah. But then once he understood the ladies, that's the reason why Ja, every time he does a performance, even upstate, it sells out. Yeah. playing the same records. Yeah. But you would think it just came out last week and it's a #1 smash hit because the women dictate, and then the dude, you know, then we following the women. Like, where we going tonight? We're going to Wisconsin.
You better.
You know what I mean? So with that said, brother, understand where the money is.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
if you did it, no.
I'm the rollout now, cause I done did Chinese Spot remix with Dave East and Vibe.
Which we gonna play that. We gonna play that.
I'm saying, and I got you got Bop with it, you got a couple thoughts. I did all of that to get the streets what they wanted. The whole next project is all female orientated. Right.
It's smart to do that, bro. You get the streets first, and then you roll out for the ladies, man. Now, if you were going to give, because now that we are kind of on that topic, if you were going to give advice to any upcoming artists, what would you tell them?
Figure out. I would say be realistic about who you are. I'm not telling you that you can't be as big as Drake. That's not what I'm saying. But ask yourself, how big do you want to be? Because there's so many different lanes, and you could be somebody like a Freddie Gibbs or something who has a steady fan base where he can sustain some form of lifestyle off of creating music. So you don't have to necessarily aim for the Drakes. Right. You can find a comfortable lane. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you got to be honest with yourself, what type of music you want to make, what sound are you similar to, and then you work your plan from there. You got to get yourself a team. If you don't got a team, you're done. Right. And don't be afraid.
Can you say that one more time?
If you don't have a team, you're done. You can't be afraid to spend the money. You can't be afraid to get it wrong. You can't be afraid to spend the money when you get it wrong. You can't be afraid to spend the money when you get it right.
Hold on, Dave. I had to give it a claps. I had to.
I don't mean no harm, but your boy D-Twizzy gotta mean no harm. Hanging on my man, Cosby goes gone. Yelling I'm that like me no song. Free all of my guys at the big bang. Mama pray for us, know we do the same thing. Big guap, gang bang, spin blocks, bang bang.